Alright, you delightful souls, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Christina, aka ThatVarietyNerd, and today we are back with part 2 of Let's Build Magnolia Promenade. That's what we're going with as the title for this little mini-series. Part 3 should be up tomorrow, and then I believe part 4, which should be the last part, should be up on Monday. Again, I only had the time of, recording this voiceover. It's Wednesday. I'm still 2 days out from moving. So by the time that this is out, I should be all moved in and all that stuff, but I won't have internet until Monday. So just giving y'all a little bit of a heads up. But once we get into Monday, we'll be in, our self quarantine and all of that because I'm a responsible adult. But nonetheless, welcome to part 2 of Let's Build Magnolia Promenade. So as per usual, get all comfy and cozy, get your choice of beverage. We're going to kick back and relax and build up this little neighborhood. So the reason I wanted to do this little, series, as I mentioned in the last episode, was because I was moving and I wanted to fill out a little bit of content and time and all that stuff. So we've pre-recorded ahead of time, just in general. I think I have content through almost the rest of July, if I'm not mistaken. But since I'm getting internet on Monday, we should be back in the fold hopefully by like Tuesday or Wednesday, so there won't be a huge delay or anything like that. We've got a lot of content ready to go in terms of just like things being mentally mapped out and stuff like that, but you will see some more build videos because I quite frankly have missed the crap out of doing them. So we're styling this very similarly to the last house that we had. So in part 1 we had like that brick and white sort of going together. We're doing that here. We'll have like a very similar theme and pattern going out like throughout the rest of these builds just in general, where it's sort of like that. This is a single family house. If you and the layout's pretty flexible, so if you want to move it around a little bit, by all means do so. I was originally going to have the bump out be more like either a kitchen, like the one that we're seeing to the right now, the square one. You can either have that as a living room or a kitchen space. I have it as one big like hobbies room. So, with Nifty Knitting coming out, it's not a bad idea to sort of start thinking about how you want to do nifty knitting. Maybe that's your nifty knitting room, or, I'm trying, fam, I'm trying. But I really like how this whole entire build turned out. I kind of envision just like a few art students. The mindset that I have with Magnolia Promenade, it's kind of like the off campus housing for like, maybe Brightchester or something like that. I'm getting some Brightchester vibes with Magnolia Promenade, and so I hope you all are sort of too. Like, it's kind of like a base game, but also not a base game type of world. Like, of course, it's not in the base game, it's in Get to Work. So this build and the other builds will only be using base game and Get to Work because that's just how the save file is working. So the save file, we're keeping it as up to date as possible as well. So even if I'm building stuff that's like off screen and I don't get a chance to make a video of it or anything like that, because you know what, sometimes I just feel like building at 2 o'clock in the morning and I live in an apartment and don't want to be a total jerk. So there's that. So that's kind of where we're at. And you know what, now that we're going to be in 2-week quarantine and everything like that, like I'm doing it voluntarily, by the way, because I actually care about other people and my own health as well. And just as a precautionary thing, like, we'll be working on this thing quite a bit. Like, I'm not going to be unpacking the entire time because there's a lot to unpack, pun intended, when it comes to unpacking. Like, there's just so much going on. I don't know how many of y'all have, like, moved or anything like that. I'm sure a good number of you have at some point in life, or you've maybe helped out a friend move. Holy cow, that is a lot of work. And we will report on the status of the apartment and whatnot once we're more settled in and have everything unpacked and kind of placed and, just much more cozy and much more like not an empty shell of an apartment. Again, like this is coming out on Saturday, so like by this point I've probably slept for 12 hours because, moving's exhausting. That's just where we're at. But I wanted to record a little bit further out ahead than I initially planned to do so. So I think I'm going to try to get everything recorded through August. That's kind of the goal. It's probably not going to happen, but you're at least going to get the main meat and potatoes content, such as this little Let's Build series. But personally, I wanted to do this because I needed to de-stress from said packing. Like, anybody that's moved or has helped moving in general knows that moving is stressful, let alone when you're in the middle of, this whole global situation and whatnot. But nonetheless, needed to de-stress a little bit, and I figured, you know what, let's start working on the same file once again. I've been working on it for about a year now, on and off, very much on and off. I get in pockets where I'll build for a week, and then it's like I quit for 3 weeks. It's like how I play. It's like how a lot of people play The Sims. It's like, all right, new expansion pack coming out, we got to go for it. As far as nifty knitting goes, we might do review type of video, review and overview type of thing. I don't know what we're gonna do just yet for nifty knitting. With the 100 baby challenge that's been put on hold slash probably like we may not do it. I feel like that's kind of a series that would be better more as like a streaming series. So if we want to go that direction, we can do so. So we could, have that labeled as attempt number one or something like that, and maybe just do some streaming and stuff like that with the 100 baby challenge, because I feel like it's much more of a streaming oriented type of series, I think, because I feel like it's going to be very easy, and I know I've gotten it far too much where it's like I'll be recording for an hour and a half and it's like, oh, I got to chop this down to 25 minutes or whatever. We'll be doing some more wrestling content for sure, but we'll do some more sim stuff. I want to get back and do some more Kingdom Hearts stuff, whether that's on stream or just, have it uploaded and that sort of thing. Again, we're doing more of a variety on That Variety Nerd. I feel like that's kind of fitting, given the name. We're going to do some reaction videos. We're going to do some ranking videos, tier lists. We're gonna have a little bit of a mixture of stuff. So while the primary content has been more like wrestling content and stuff like that, and that's obviously going to shift going into September with the new game coming out, of course. We're going to start to do some just different stuff here on the channel. So it'll be like reactions to shows, reactions to pay-per-view events, whatever it is, really. Reactions to movies, that sort of thing. So just something very chill, very quaint, that sort of stuff. But again, I know this is probably not the video to kind of give all these channel updates and stuff like that, especially when nothing's really set in stone just yet. But I feel like it's a good space because I mean it's pretty timely, and I want to make sure that y'all know where I'm at. Well, not exactly where I'm at, but you get my point. Like, oh, Christina just disappeared off the face of the planet for a couple of days. Like, well, what happened here? It's like I've been packing and trying to move in the middle of everything going on in the world, so it's been a time to say the least. But at the time of recording this voiceover, which is Wednesday, so it's 2 days before I move, I think we're at about 80% packed or something like that, minus, of course, your essential electronics and stuff like that. We'll be 90 to 95% packed as of Thursday night, so tomorrow. So, yeah, that's exciting. So, yeah, this is going to be out again on Saturday. I'll be all settled in, or at least somewhat settled in. I'll have all my crap moved from my current place to my new place. I'm moving out of state as well, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes. We might do some kind of a vlog or something like that if y'all want me to do so. And honestly, we'll at least be getting some pictures and all that stuff. So kind of keep your eyes peeled on my Instagram and Twitter, especially those two platforms, because you know what? Why not? I enjoy, sharing my food photos and life photos and me just screaming over boxes at 2 in the morning, whatever it is, which that's happened already. But yeah, I wanted to at least have some stuff recorded for y'all going into this crazy situation that we're in, and yeah, that's kind of that's where we're at. It's kind of the best way to kind of describe it, but I'm also, of course, willing to collaborate and stuff like that. Ideally, once, once we get a little bit more settled in and actually have internet access in the new apartment, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We're just gonna see how things pan out. We're gonna have a lot more space in the new apartment. I don't know if the echo situation will be better or worse. We'll have to see how things go. So yeah. Anyway, this is very much an artist's little house. Essentially, you can be flexible with the top area, but I want to have some green living space outside. Kind of in the realm of eco lifestyle, but for base game and get to work, that sort of thing. And I have all the stuff packs because they were on a massive sale and stuff like that not too long ago. So I said screw it and just got the last four that I was missing. I was missing luxury party stuff, my first pets, and oh god, what was the other one? Spooky stuff, the 3 packs that I think I just gave an F to or something like that on my tier list ranking. So yeah, that's very much a thing. So yeah, we're getting there. Just like we're getting there in this house in The Sims just as much as we are getting there in real life. So again, very similar furnishings and styles, but I think it makes sense. I want this little neighborhood to kind of flow together pretty decently. But if you look at the very top of the where you have the green sitting space on the second story, and we also use ladders. So if you have a toddler, you could convert that downstairs space, like that crafts room, into a toddler room, or if you have multiple toddlers, you can do that, which I would strongly recommend because toddlers can't climb ladders as far as I know. But as you can see here, it's very much like an artsy sort of house. You have the more modern appliances and stuff like that, but you have that little outside seating area as well. So that way you can have some time outside. If you want to go paint outside, you can do that. There's an ensuite bathroom, but of course there's, like I mentioned, you have enough room up here for another bedroom if you want to as well. I want to just have the one for right now, like, just to have as like a template. When I think of like making my builds, like my mentality is like, okay, are people like, for me, it's like it's like I have an idea as to what I want to do, but I don't have an idea, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want it to be like set in stone. I want other people to use it and, create their own little space because I know your Sims are going to be different than my Sims and all of that. So I want to have a very rough idea and, have it be flexible. So this one's very much a cozy industrial type of a home, but you can see that of there's a lot of space to work with, from the exterior on the outside to little outdoor spaces to, the second floor in general. You can play around with the space, and that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that the layouts are functioning, that at least like you have some decent little bathrooms and that sort of thing, making sure that the layouts are maximized to their full capacity, because we've seen some of these, like, base game builds especially, where it's like, oh god, why? Like, it's mainly from the game itself. Like, I love seeing what everybody creates, and just, I have no idea how some of y'all do it. I really don't. Like, some of these creations that I see, I'm like, how do you do this? How are you doing this thing? Like, I'm extremely jealous, and I want your building skills. That's just where we're at. That is honestly just where we are at. But I really like how this turned out, and like I'm excited to build the rest of these houses, or really it's more like two more lots to be completely honest. But yeah, I hope you all are enjoying this little mini series so far. I didn't want to do something like super long form because I feel like we've been doing a lot of long form content here on the channel, or long term content, I think is the right word I want to use. But here are the screenshots, everyone. So, as per usual, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment. If you have any lots that you want to see next up here on the channel, Lord knows we're going to be in 2-week self-quarantine. So I'll be getting some more builds and content fired up and ready to go. So as per usual, thank you all so much for tuning in and supporting the channel. And I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.